If you're looking to expand the sound of your music beyond simple power chords and open chords, exploring how other countries and genres approach chord progressions is a great idea. So I've put together a list of essential chords and shapes commonly found in various Japanese genres. I'll be showing you how to fret these chords and then how you can apply them in your own songwriting, rather than delving too deeply into music theory. The sound of seventh chords plays a significant role in many styles of Japanese music, and they're key to achieving that characteristic sound often associated with it. What's great about these chords is the variety of unique voicings you can use, along with simple adjustments you can make to subtly alter their sound. If you're a beginner just starting out, some of these chord positions might feel a bit challenging to fret. In that case, I'd recommend starting with the emo chord, traditionally known as a major seventh chord with a third omitted. These can be referred to as shell chords, meaning they've been simplified to contain only the essential notes needed to define the chord's harmony. These are incredibly easy to play. All you need to do is take a standard 3-finger power chord and move your ring finger down 1 fret. This way you'll be fretting the 1st, 5th and 7th notes, which sounds like this. You can move this shape all across the fretboard, and when starting on the D string, the shape is identical to a power chord. If you've ever played the opening to What's My Age Again, you've likely already come across this sound, even if you didn't realise it at the time. Another easy variant of this shape is essentially a scaled down version of a major seventh chord, but this time it includes a third rather than omitting it. To play this, begin with the root note, in this case G, add the third starting on the A string, and then the major seventh on the D string. It should sound like this. And for the minor version of this, you just need to drop the A and D string notes down by 1 fret each, which would look like this. These shapes are very similar to that last one, but better suited to heavier sounds due to the emphasis on the lower notes. You'll hear this type of chord frequently in emo and post-hardcore music from bands like Title Fight and Touche Amore. To go along with this, you can also use partial chords, which are like shell chords but don't follow strict rules about which notes to leave out. So you can think of these like a smaller slice of a full chord voicing. For instance, instead of playing a whole G chord, you could instead just play the root and third. These can be really helpful to use alongside more complex voicings and make for a great way of playing hybrid lead parts, where you're essentially playing rhythm guitar, but the partial chords allow you to inject some extra melody into the chords. You can also use thirds, slash chords, sixths, and so on to do this. Number Girl would be a great example of a band that does this often. So I'll play you a snippet of something I came up with where I use a mixture of shell chords along with regular power chords and partial chords for the lead guitar. For intermediate players, there's one key shape that's great to learn, which you can then add a few easy variations to. The starting shape would be a 7th chord, such as B7, which has a slightly bluesy sound to it. From this shape, you can create either a B minor 7th or a B major 7th by simply moving 1 note. To form the B minor 7th, drop the 3rd, D sharp in this case, down 1 fret, making it a minor 3rd. Or to form a B major 7th, you instead need to move the fretted D string up by 1, making it a major 7th. Interestingly, these chords often sound the opposite of what their names suggest, at least to me. A major 7th chord voiced this way feels much sadder, resembling the traditional minor chord, while the minor 7th sounds a bit brighter or happier. And that more ambiguous sound that both chords have is a big part of what makes Japanese music so recognizable. So here's one final example of a song I wrote using these more intermediate shapes instead of the shell chords from earlier. Now that you've learnt some essential chords to use, check out this video next to learn more about that distinct style of Japanese punk guitar.